What's up? This is Metal Nate.
And this is Brutal Brian.
And we are here with Ronnie and Lee from Born of Osiris. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing good. There's a water park connected to the venue, so we went swimming and shit.
We were there earlier today, and we were just going on some slides. And
dirty slides there?
It was fun, yeah.
Wild slides.
It looks pretty sweet. So that you guys getting free, I hope, at least?
Yeah, it was free. We got these bracelets.
It's called the, I don't know.
Cocoa Water Resort.
Cocoa Cash or something is too.
Like
it's kind of weird. But how's this tour going for you? You're on the All-Stars tour with Amir and Alisana and I Wrestled the Bear once and a bunch of other awesome bands.
It's been really great for us. There's a lot of people coming up and showing up, and I feel like we're playing to a different audience this tour, and it's not just our fans, it's newer people that haven't really heard of us, and they seem to be digging it, so it's been great for us so far.
Yeah, you and After the Burial are kind of like the new wave of gent, like coming in here and just like blasting some awesome gent metal. How's that? How do you guys feel about? I should ask that right away. How do you guys feel about that term, like gent? And are you like cool with it, or?
I don't know. I don't really. Lee, you want to answer that?
I don't think we're like, I don't know what that is anymore. Nobody does. But we don't.
The down-tuned 8 strings?
We don't call ourselves gent or
That's
at
cool.
all. I don't know.
Okay.
It's an overused term. Sorry, I'm not trying to.
No, it's all good, dude. It's understandable.
That doesn't describe our band, you know, in our opinion.
Okay. You just released your latest album, The Discovery, earlier this year in March. How long did it take for fans to learn the new songs, and have they all had positive responses so far?
Yeah. For our third release, it was really sick to see the crowd sing along to the lyrics, and people seem to really get it. They're attached to it, and it's great to see when you're performing on stage. It's a really great feeling. It probably took about, I don't know, we released Follow the Signs first as a single, and another song, I think it was Two Worlds of Design, and
Recreate after.
I would say a few months before people started coming to the show. Well, I mean, we didn't tour.
I think we did a tour. I think we played maybe 2 songs off the album before it came out.
Yeah, Recreate was one of them.
It was cool, but obviously no one had heard the music. But right when the album came out, it was good to see the crowd into the new album, because we're most proud of this album and glad that it seems that the majority of our fans feel the same way, I think. So it's really cool. We're excited. Songs are going over great live, and it's fun to play new stuff.
And the new album has been praised from everywhere to metal magazines to basically every kind of metal media outlet I've seen. Are you guys all overwhelmed by the positive response to this album? I mean, it's an epic record.
Yeah, it's very amazing just to see the great responses from every magazine. I just read an interview in Outburn, we got a 9 out of 10, and it's awesome to see that. I don't know.
It's great. We put so much of the last couple of years of our lives into the record, and so now that it's out, it's just it feels so good, and the fact that people are enjoying it feels even better.
Absolutely. And it takes every aspect of your sound from a higher place to a whole new level, in my opinion. How long did it take to write this record with that in mind? I mean, you have so many layers in every song of different of guitar riffs, of synth, of everything. It's just a big sound. How long did it take to come together in the writing process?
We all live together in a house, so Lee writes guitar parts, Joe writes keyboard parts, Cameron writes guitar parts and drum parts, and Jason also writes guitar parts. So it's we were all collabing in our house that we recently moved into, and we've been living there for 2 years, so that's probably how long the record took.
Definitely. It's been a long time in the making, but it's not we're on tour so much that when we get little pockets of time at home, we just write, we're always writing. It's not time to write an album, so let's get going. It's just constantly there's new music. There's already plenty of new music since the Discovery that we already have. And so yeah, I mean, it took I guess a few years to write, but it's not we're on the road for a lot of that. And so it's tough to really gauge how long it took to.
And I mean, it wasn't a huge gap of time as far as between releases. So I know, at least for me, it didn't feel like it was it wasn't oh come on, they need to put out a new record already. It was okay, good, they're putting out a new record.
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to be able to do that. We have three, you know, I mean, a lot of people in the band writing songs and bringing ideas now. It's hard when you're in high school and you're all living at your parents' house and trying to really collab. It's a challenge. So now that we're all together, it was not an issue making it what it is.
And you actually had not really an episode, it was like a YouTube video, it was like a crib style tour of the house. Is that really your house? That was one question that someone wanted me to ask. And are you guys like renting it, or do you actually own it? Or?
We are renting it.
That house is epic.
Yeah,
like,
it's really nice.
That's the only way it's possible, is to rent. A lot of people thought we like faked it or staged it.
I just thought you guys have been really doing well lately, so.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you think about how often we're on the road and all of us living there, like between, you know, 6 dudes in the band, it makes it affordable, especially since we're just renting. And yeah, and it just helped take our band to like a whole new level of, you know, a band. So it's cool. It's helped us like tremendously.
But when you think about it, you guys are always together then, because you live together, you're on the road together. How does do you ever like have any issues like internally, any friction in the band? Doesn't seem like you guys do.
We never do, honestly. We grew up together, and like Cameron and I grew up in elementary school together, and like so it's just like we're best friends. All of us are best friends. We grew up in high school, and we used to hang out all the time, and we still do hang out every day of our lives. So it's just a normal family kind of feeling.
That's awesome.
We're fortunate for that. You know, you see a lot of bands that are on the road and they're just not getting along, and sometimes you even see bands that just like, if it wasn't for their band being a touring band, I don't even know if they would be friends or be in the band. You know, they're kind of not in it. It was always friends first, I guess. You know, I'm not necessarily. You guys all like lived a mile away from each other growing up, and I mean, I wasn't one of those, but I don't know. It was friends before the band, I guess. So it worked out good. And the majority of the guys went to school together. And
that's a great approach to have, I think.
For sure.
Would you say there's a theme to the Discovery lyrically, or is it all from different sources?
There's different themes in the album, and a lot of people ask me if it's like one big theme, and I don't really think there is. Yeah, I would say mostly the theme is about like understanding who you are as a person and like growing as an individual and also as a whole of our band and stuff, and coming together and creating music this time around was like really meaningful to me, and I think everyone else. So.
And I saw that the CEO of Sumerian was also involved a little bit in at least he was credited in the lyrical process.
Ellison?
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped out on one of the songs on Follow the Signs.
Oh, sweet. I mean, what did he help out with? Like, what did he contribute?
Well, you know the breakdown part with the keyboard line where it says "We are the victims." He put that in the beginning of the song so it would repeat.
Sweet.
Have a repetition kind of thing going on.
That's awesome. No, that song came out so well. So
Yeah.
So it's not a concept album then?
No.
Okay. Now there was a bit of, I didn't know about this until I was studying up like for the interview, but there was a bit of controversy, I guess, because there was like a couple tracks leaked ahead of time with like fart noises and Charlie Sheen quotes in them. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Cameron and I, like in high school when we were freshmen, we just used to like have fun and write silly music together, and that was kind of what we liked to do. So we decided to leak our album with some of that stuff on it and just see what people thought.
Now, was Sumerian in on this, or did they have no idea?
They were all for it.
Might have been their idea. I don't even know.
Our band name was called Blessed Be, and
so it wasn't even, the people didn't even know it was you guys.
No, and it was, you know, our themes were about like moles and braids and pizza and stuff like that, and we just had fun.
That's freaking awesome.
Couldn't say it any better.
It seemed like there might have been a little bit of backlash from it. Was anyone actually pissed about it? Did you find, or did they all think it was pretty funny?
Not necessarily.
There's no backlash.
I don't know.
Wikipedia makes it out to be something else. I don't know.
I don't know. People laughed, or they got, I don't know. The joke was on them, I guess. I don't know. It's supposed to be funny. Hopefully they thought it was funny. I'm sure some people were really excited and downloaded it and then
Got pissed.
upset, I guess. I don't know. It's not really anything to be upset about. We're just having fun.
And do you feel that illegal downloading has hurt your band a lot? Especially because, I mean, you guys are popular when you consider like a lot of people listen to your music, but I don't know if there's necessarily like the album sales would reflect that simply because of so much downloading?
We don't like make a lot of money off of album sales, you know, and there's one side of that. A lot of kids say, well, you know, these bands aren't making money off their albums, so who cares if I download it, I'll just buy something at the show. But I mean, like, in reality, the world being that way has turned it into bands not making money off of album sales. So when they say, oh, I'm downloading because they're not going to make any money anyways, they're being part of the reason, you know. But that being said, if someone's downloaded the album, I don't care.
Okay.
At all. If everybody downloaded it, whatever, I hope they get it and enjoy it. But that's just one side of that whole, you know, music industry argument.
But doesn't it help you get on tours, or?
I mean, album sales, yeah. If album sales can get you on, you know, the big mainstream, you know, metal tours, depending on what you sold, and album sales say a lot about your band. But you know, times are changing, and more people are downloading, and it is what it is.
Okay. Have you been excited to hang out or like see any particular bands on this tour right now that you're on?
I love hanging out with After the Burial. Those guys are awesome. Chelsea Grin, those dudes are fun to hang out with. Attila, we've been partying a lot, so it's been a good time. Been drinking and stuff, and just yeah.
Cool.
We got a little wasted last night and had to get carried.
Attila parties pretty hard. I mean,
yeah, they do.
I mean, I've seen them pull up drinking at like 3 in the afternoon or something before a show. Yeah. So
they got the party under control. Usually they get giving me drinks before I go on and everything too. They're always down to rage.
I mean, I guess there's a reason their last album was called Rage. But yeah.
That fits suitable.
Fits. So what do you guys have planned after the All Stars tour is over?
Planning on doing a headlining tour with the Faceless and Veil Maya, and it'll be a Sumerian tour, so hopefully that'll be at the end of October, November-ish.
So that's right after Veil Maya gets off their Crush 'Em All tour?
Yes.
With After the Burial, actually.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It'll be a fun one.
Is that gonna hopefully come to New England in our area, you think?
Yeah, I hope so.
Hopefully. We don't know the dates yet, but...
Okay. Has that been announced though, or should I not? Should I edit that part out?
Hasn't been announced. We did the tour very similar in Europe. It was us and the Faceless and Veil Maya, and we were just like, man, we should really do this in the States, and lucky enough it gets to happen. I'm not sure who else, you know, is going to open the tour yet, because it kind of just turned into a Sumerian tour recently, but it'll be fun. All those dudes we've been friends with for years, and we make, you know, I think we share fans with those bands too, so it should be a good tour.
Absolutely. And have you guys begun to think about the next album yet, or is it too soon? You said you have a little bit of new material already.
Yeah. We're already always thinking ahead of time, you know. We got a bunch of songs, or at least ideas.
How are you gonna top the Discovery though? That's what I have to ask, because that already blew my mind.
I think we're gonna have no problem doing it, to be honest, because what we learned from doing the Discovery only is gonna make us stronger, you know, as a songwriting unit and band, and assuming that you don't let other things take over your life as a songwriter or as a band, like, hopefully we will always progress, you know. There shouldn't be any reason why we get worse, but that's...
Well, I'm not saying that. I know, I mean, I think a lot of people I've talked to have said that that album is so far ahead of anything else they've heard recently that they're blown away.
Makes us feel great that we've spent a lot of time trying to make it what it is, so it makes us feel really good that people are enjoying it.
Okay, and do you have any goals for 2011 beyond just continuing the tour and blowing people and melting people's faces and whatnot?
I'd like to go to Australia or Japan and tour overseas.
You guys haven't been to those spots yet?
Not yet, but would love to go one day.
I'm sure it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen this year, it'll probably happen next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, cool. Thank you so much for doing that.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
For sure. Great interview.